Hi everybody, hi Tobias.
Hi, Rafael. Nice to be here.
So today we will be talking with Tobias. He's the CEO of Git Tower, and we will be talking about continuous integration, continuous delivery. I will tell something more about this topic on the next slide. So first of all, Tobias, this is your community. This is your Git Tower community. Could you share some words about you and tell us more about you?
Absolutely. Thanks. First of all, thanks for having me and thanks for being the speaker on this wonderful webinar. We've had a short but very great cooperation so far. I don't know, some of you might have been part of the first webinar a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I think.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. So we know each other a little bit, Rafael and
Yep.
So a couple of words about me and about Tower. Most of you should be familiar with Tower, I hope. We're a Git desktop client for Mac and for Windows. We've just celebrated our 10th anniversary. A small company, a small product, but 10 years on the market. That's wonderful. And
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, and we've helped around 100,000 people in those 10 years. I always say work more easily with the Git version control system, work more productively with Git. And today I'm really glad that we have you on board, Rafael, and you from Buddy, because this is another side of the game, right? Talking
Yep.
about CI and about CD and deployments. And I'll be the one asking the newbie questions, because that's really my role. I'm not playing dumb. I don't know much about CI, and I'm really interested in hearing and seeing what you do. So take it from here.
So once again, thanks you to joining us. So I'm Rafael. I have over 10 years experience in continuous integration and continuous delivery. Right now I'm CTO in Buddy, and Buddy is a continuous integration, continuous delivery platform. So with Buddy, you are able to build a delivery pipeline to build, test, and deliver your application to the production server. So I think it is enough, and I will show you some cases about Git delivery on this webinar. So let's jump to our topic. And today we will be talking about Git automations. So in short, how to automate delivery, how to protect your code, how to protect your production application, your production server, and why should I care about continuous integration and continuous delivery. So let's start from the last point. So why should I even care? What do you think, Tobias? Yeah. So the first and the second point of the slide are, I think, obvious for those who have experience with continuous integration and continuous delivery. But for many of our users, of our community, there are just empty slogans and if they didn't get a chance to know a value of automations, then they don't understand how it reduces stress, how it reduces errors in our application. So I hope everybody will feel those points after this webinar. So for me, the most important is the third point. So getting a feedback. So how to say it? The faster you are able to integrate your changes into the main branch and test your changes in your code, the faster you will get a feedback about your changes. Okay. From test results from your team, and the faster you will get this feedback, the faster you will be able to resolve some problems and you will save some time. So when it comes to delivery, the faster you are able to deliver a new version of your application, the faster you will get a feedback from your community, from your users. And you will be able to watch how your users are using those new fancy functionality in your product, and you will be able to improve it based on this feedback, on this usage. So when it comes to continuous delivery, continuous integration, it is better to do small change to your application and integrate it and deliver this small change to your production application and to watch these features. And there is one set statistic. I don't know if you are aware of this set statistic. So there is a health report by Standish Group, and this report says that over 60% of functionality in software is rarely or never used. So this is very sad, because when your team are creating Git tower, and once you create a new functionality and nobody will use it, you will lose your time, and you will lose your money, and probably you will lose your clients as well.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to ask the people in the audience to tell me which feature they aren't using, but that's probably not going to use, right? Sorry.
So there is a quote from Henry Ford, and he told that if he asked his clients about what they want to get, they will told him that they want faster horses. So it isn't work like this. You should deliver functionality, have some reports about how many users are using this functionality and in which way they are using your functionality, and based on this, you should improve your new versions. Okay, the next slide is the most important thing. So 5 days a year. So if you can automate a job that takes you 10 minutes a day, you will save 5 days in a year. So you are able to go to the pub or go to the beach and just drink a beer for a whole week if you just automate a task that takes you 10 minutes a day. So I think this is very easy to calculate. Just on a daily basis, just count how much time you spend on some tasks, and just multiply it by 5 days and 52 weeks in a year, and you will see how many times you are losing.
Yeah, you're saving minutes, but also sweat in many cases. I remember when we used to deploy manually, that was always a very sweaty situation. So
exactly. So let's jump to continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. So many of our developers don't know how they are different. So first of all, continuous integration. So when you saying continuous integration, you are let's jump to the beginning. The continuous integration is about code integration. So what I mean code integration, you should pull and push your code from the main branch to your branches as fast as possible, as often as possible. because as I told on the previous slide, when you integrate your changes, when you test your changes often, you get your feedback often, and you can change some approach to the code and solve it quickly. So continuous integration is about automate tests, and delivery and deployment goes even further. So when you have automated your tests, you are able to automate your delivery, and after you push your change to the main branch, your tests are triggered, and when your tests are passed, you are able to there is an auto deploy to the production. So it is continuous deployment. And when it comes to continuous delivery, there is an orange arrow there stands for manual improvement. So everything is automated, even delivery. But after we tested our application and it is ready to be deployed, there is a manual step when the business can say, we want to deploy this new version on Monday on, for example, 8 p.m. So this is only difference between continuous delivery and deployment. Everything should be automated.
Okay. So Raphael, would it be fair to say that delivery and deployment isn't better or worse? It's more of a question of personal taste, or?
So I think the continuous deployment is a holy grail. Okay. Because you have to be sure for 100% everything is tested, everything is covered by test. And when you don't have 100% coverage of your code, you should do some manual tests, for example. Okay. But I think you should add tests to your project on a, for example, daily basis. You shouldn't go if you don't have automated your pipeline. You should, for example, start from the very easy tasks, automated, and look at your automation and improve it on a daily basis. And in this way, you will not spend much time on this, and you will improve your workflow every day. Okay. So right now, I will jump to the live demo. I have already configured some simple pipeline to show you how easy it is to deploy application and how easy it is to roll back this application. And based on this simple pipeline, I will try to show some edge cases when you should improve your continuous delivery pipeline. So from my perspective, it is very easy to automate delivery, because you know what you have to do to deliver your project. You have to build it, you have to deliver some artifacts to the production server, you have to run some database migration scripts, you have to restart your application, and you can just write some script and automate your delivery. When it comes to tests, when you have a legacy project and you don't have tests right now, it will be very, very time-consuming process to write all tests for the legacy project. So from my perspective, start from delivery and then add some test steps before the deployment. So let's jump to our simple pipeline. I will change the screen. So first of all, my repo. This is a simple React application, simple static website built with React. I have package JSON with my dependencies. I have some scripts to build my application, to test my application. I already have some scripts to run my application on a server. As you can see, I'm using live server from npm to serve my application on the virtual machine. So that's it. This is very, very easy application. And I already have this application on the production server. And this is a virtual machine in DigitalOcean. So we can connect it to this virtual machine via SSH. We can deploy our files via FTP or SFTP to the server. We can connect via SSH and execute some scripts. And that's it. Mm-hmm. For this Git repository and this website, I already created some delivery pipeline. So this pipeline will be triggered after every push to the main branch. So the main master branch, let's see how it works. So first of all, we have to download dependencies. After we download dependencies, we will build our application. For example, in static websites, we have to compile our SCSS files, we have compile JS files, and we have compile static websites from our source code to the target files. And then once we build it, we have to upload those files to the production server and then connect to the server and run our script. So just set permissions to our script and just run our application once again to restart it. So as you can see, our pipeline is very easy. And at the end of our pipeline, there is a section actions run on failure. So once something goes wrong, we will get a Slack notification. Our team will get Slack notification that they should check what is wrong. They should fix it and react on those notifications. So let's see how it works. So I will change, for example. So let's see our application. We can increase and decrease some result. Okay, let's change it. So let's go to our source. Let's go to components. Here we have JavaScript. Let's edit it. And let's say we will break something. So let's say we will decrease our result every time we are clicking, no matter what button we will click. So let's commit changes. We can see our pipeline is running, so we can check the progress.
Okay.
Our dependencies are installing. Okay, our application, so we can see logs. Our application is building. And once the build is completed, files will be uploaded to the production and application will be restarted.
It's nothing better than a live demo for developers.
Yeah, but I think so. So let's refresh it and let's say, as you can see, there is a bug. Okay, so there is nothing wrong. Okay, our application is broken, but once we have our pipeline ready to use, we are able to easily roll back the changes. So just open run form, select different revision, the last one, run it. As you can see, pipeline is in progress. We are installing dependencies once again. Okay. We are building our application. Okay. And we are live. and our application is working once again.
Back. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we are able right now, very easy pipeline that build and deploy our application. We are ready to deploy on push, rollback on click, and we don't need to connect to the server. We don't need to upload files manually. You know how it is to deploy manually. A lot of stress, a lot of human errors. So once we have scripted it, we are able to do it the same way every time. And we are error-proof once we have it.
Yeah. There's a question from the audience, and I think it's a good question. I would ask that myself, but Jakub was quicker than I was. The pipeline configuration, that's totally located inside of Buddy, or is that also, can I import that from a repository?
So there are, in Buddy there are two ways. So when you are starting using Buddy, you are able to configure it from user interface.
Yeah.
So for example, these steps, just write a comment, a script you want to execute, just select a version of Node you want to use, and that's it. But once you configure your pipeline, you are able to switch to the YAML mode, just copy your configuration and paste it into your repository, and from now on you are able to configure your pipelines based on your repository. So you will have everything in your repository, but we think that there is a space for improvement, because when you configure your pipeline in the YAML, there are some problems. You have to read documentations, how to configure it, how to add another configuration, another step to your pipeline, and so on. So in Buddy we have YAML helper, so you are able to generate any pipeline, any action from user interface. Just select the action from our list of actions. For example, let's do it.
Yeah, that's definitely
and generate YAML.
Yeah, the user
just copy it and paste to your repository, and this is a very easy way to configure your YAML. Okay, so as I presented you, we have this simple pipeline, but how to protect ourselves, our team, our users from our mistakes. So we have to test our application before deployment. And once we configured our delivery process, we have to focus on tests. I will jump to our presentation. So, okay, so tests. There are many kinds of tests: unit tests, integration tests, contract tests, static code analysis like lint, integration tests, end-to-end tests, some Selenium tests, visual tests, and many other tests you can run against. It only depends on your needs, only depends on your team, what you will use. So based on your needs, you have to select what kind of tests you have to run against your repository, against your application, to make sure your application is in good shape. Okay, so let's configure some test steps in our pipeline. So as I show you, as you can see, there is already some test script in our repository. So here are our tests. There are right now only 2 tests for adding and deleting. Let's add these steps to our pipeline. So add another step before build. Okay, we'll use Node environment in version 13. Okay, just run.
One can see you've done that before, Raphael, right? You're pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay, and we can run once again our broken revision. Okay, this is the head of our main branch. Let's run it. Okay. Our tests are running. Oh, and you can see our tests failed.
Yeah.
So once it failed, you can see Slack notification to the team was sent. Here it is, and we can open the link from the message, jump to the execution, see what we should change. So this is our assert, and expect the result is 1 and the receipt is -1. So let's right now we can fix it. So before deployment, we know that there is a problem in our repository, and we should not deliver it to our users, to our production servers. So let's say we have a ticket that there is a typo in our text on our application. So let's change it. Based on this, I will show you some edge case. So let's change it. Source components. I think this is here. So let's edit it. Okay, be best and okay, let's commit it. And our execution, our pipeline will test our change after this. And when our repository is in good shape, it will deploy our application to the production server. But as you will see, there is a problem. There is a problem with our test because we have changed our application before. We didn't fix our bug, and we are unable to deliver another change in our repository. So our repository right now looks like this. We have some first version of our application. We did some changes in our repository, okay, and this commit, feature commit second, broke our application, and on this change, on this revision, we have made some bug fix, and we are unable to release this because we have to fix this feature before we are able to deliver our bug fix. And this is because we are working on one branch, and we should do it in a different way. So we should use branches and test our application on branches. So once we have some feature, we have to create a new branch, deliver some functionality, test this functionality on branch, and once it is ready, it is tested, we are able to merge it to our main branch and deliver to our production server. So you can see we are able to work on feature branch, and in a parallel, we are ready to deliver a bug fix to our production server. So let's start using branches in our repository. So first of all, let's fix our application. So I will jump to components. I will fix it.
While you are fixing the code, Raphael, I can just reiterate that point that you just made. Using branches properly and intensively is probably the most important thing you can do in terms of code quality for your Git repository, but also for deployments and automation. Because if you don't use that,
exactly. So from my perspective, once you decide to automate, you decide to go with Git, you should use branches, because branches are the most important part of Git, in my opinion. They are very easy to use and they are very useful. Okay, I have fixed my application. Let's see if it is ready. Okay, my last execution passed. Okay, our text is new text is on our site. So let's create our first feature branch. So let's say we have a ticket. We want to change our application. In this way, we want to increase our result by 10 and decrease our result by 10 every time somebody clicked the button. So first of all, we have to change. The way. We have to create a new branch. There's a nice feature in GitHub. I can add it in main branch. So I will start from the main branch. I will decrease by 10, increase by 10. Okay, but I will create a new branch. And based on this, I will propose changes. So another feature in GitHub and in GitLab as well, and Bitbucket, there are some pull requests. So once you are using branches, you are able to create a pull request, and pull request is a task to ask somebody to merge your changes to the main branch, to another branch. So as you can see, base branch is main, compare is our patch one, and I can create a pull request. But let's jump to our pipelines. So we can see that we don't have execution for the last changes we made. This is because our pipeline only listens on the changes in the main branch. So we have to create a new pipeline for changes in other branches. So I will speed it up. I will clone this pipeline.
Okay. You don't have to start from scratch. You can.
Yeah, but I don't have to start from scratch. I can just copy another pipeline.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All actions from this pipeline. This is our build and deploy to production. Clone it. Okay. We have our clone. Let's change it. Run tests. Okay, it will be triggered after every push, but not one main branch. We want to trigger it after every push to every branch. So we will use asterisk to wildcard every branch to trigger our pipeline. Okay, let's save it. Let's go to our actions. We have to.
Raphael, would this also run in addition to the other pipeline that we have set up, before or after, because it runs on every branch?
It will run on every branch. We can change it to run only on branches other than main branch.
Oh, okay.
So let's do this. This is a helper. I will copy regex expression, change master to main. And in this way, we will trigger this pipeline only for other branches than master branch, than main branch. Okay, let's go to our actions. We have to install dependencies and we have to run some tests, and other actions will not run. So let's delete those actions from our pipeline. Okay. I will delete this action, and this action. And I will, the Slack notification is in the right place, so I will save it. So as you can see, right now I can run it manually. So here is our branch I want to test. I will run it manually, and after every push, since now it will be triggered automatically. So run it. We have to wait because our dependencies aren't cached in a new pipeline. So our dependencies will be downloaded once again. Okay, let's jump to our execution. Okay, our dependencies are downloading. Okay, and we are running tests. And I think it will break. Okay, it is good because we didn't change our tests in this branch. And let's jump to our pull requests in GitHub. So here are our pull requests, and I can see that this pull request has a check, failure check, build fail. So let's open this pull request. I can see that body pipeline run test has some errors. I can click details, but there is one problem. I can merge this pull request even my checks have failed. So to fix it, to protect the main branch, to protect my main branch before against merging untested branches, I have to change settings in GitHub. So there are the same settings in GitLab and Bitbucket you can set up. I will show you how to do it in GitHub. So in settings in your repository, there is branches tab, and you are able to create a protection rules. So other rule, you have to set up pattern for the branch. So we will protect our main branch, and we will require to pass before merging our pipeline that is testing our changes. Okay, and even more, we'll include also administrators. So even I, as administrator of my repository, can't make changes directly into the main branch. So let's create this rule.
This is for the situation when your boss thinks he or she knows what's wrong, and then things break.
Exactly. So, okay, let's jump to our pull request, open it. Okay, and I can see I'm unable to merge this pull request. And I'm unable to merge it from the GitHub perspective, from the GitHub user interface, but I'm also unable to merge it from the terminal, from Git Tower, and push this merge to the GitHub. So let's fix our application. Okay, let's jump to code. So we have to fix our tests. And we change our increase and decrease by 10. Okay, let's commit it. Right now, we can see our test pipeline is running against our feature branch. Okay, our dependencies are downloaded, and wow, live demo. The value should be 10. Expect to receive, expect to receive. I have to change it once again. Okay. To make it simple, I will revert my changes in this feature branch. Up test, I will see, okay, value equals 10. Okay, everything looks fine, but I will revert it. The live demo.
That's how people know it is really a live demo. You could fake that, but this is live.
Okay, I know why. I know why. Because, as you can see, I have made those changes in the second branch. Not in the patch one. I made it in the second branch. So let's jump to our first patch. And let's go to our components. Let's go to the source, test, edit it, and we are able to change it. Once again, okay, commit to the patch one. Okay, we can right now delete our patch, second patch from the repository. We don't need it. Okay, let's jump to our pipeline. We can see this execution is for our patch one branch. So this is correct one. We can see our test passed, and let's jump to our pull request. Open it. We can see
yes,
all have passed, and we are able to merge it. And right now, just merge it. Okay, confirm merge. And our branch was merged to the main branch, and we can see our production pipeline is running. So we have developed a new feature in a branch. We have fixed our tests in this branch, and after our test passed, we were able to merge our branch to the main repository, and this merge triggered our main pipeline and deliver our changes to the production server.
I see.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's work. And it works.
Awesome.
Okay. We can do many pipelines to test our branches. So for example, we can lint our code to check syntax of our code. Everything is in good shape. We can run some visual tests. We can run many tests against it and add another checks to our protection rule in GitHub. So we have 20 minutes to end of this webinar. So I will create another pipeline to run visual tests against our application. So what are visual tests? As you could see, we were able to test some functions in our code. We were able, if we are at 10 to our results, if results is correct, and check it from the code perspective. But not every change we are able to check from the code. So maybe we are, but they are very hard to implement. So for example, if we change our application and change our styles, for example, we'll change size of our fonts. Okay, we will create a new branch. We will name it this time. You can see our pipeline is running, and you will see our tests will pass. And from those tests, we are ready to merge it and go to the production. And you will see this is wrong. So let's merge it. Okay. Create pull request. Okay. All checks passed. We are ready to merge it. Confirm merge. Okay. We can see our production pipeline is running because we merged our changes to the main branch. And our changes will go to the production server. And you will see what happened.
This doesn't end well, right?
It doesn't end well. And one moment. Okay, so we are live. And you can see something is wrong.
Yeah.
And how to protect against this kind of changes. So there are a few ways. So we are able to write some tests and check if we have good font size in our repository. But in most cases, this is very difficult and time consuming. So we can create another test, visual test, and for example, compare our production side against some staging server and show if those changes are correct and just approve those changes before we can merge it. So let's create another pipeline. So first of all, we have to have our staging environment. So we can create another droplet, we can use another service to just deliver our staging application. I will use Sandboxes in Buddy to create it very easy. So I will use Ubuntu in the last version. I will install their Node in correct version. I will name it Okay, and our application will be hosted on this port. So let's create this sandbox. One moment. It's online. We are ready to go to our terminal. So we have to do two things. First of all, we will create a directory for our application. Let's make it in this way. Okay. And we will install our live server with npm. -g.
I didn't know about the sandboxes. That seems very cool.
It's a brand new feature in Buddy.
Okay, good.
We are still working on this feature. So as you can see, our sandbox is ready to use. I can open preview. We are waiting for service R port 80. Okay. So let's deploy our application to this staging environment. So let's jump to our pipelines. Let's clone this pipeline once again. Okay, all action. Okay, clone all actions. Okay, let's change our trigger mode to the wildcard. The same way we did for testing server, for testing pipeline. Okay. Okay, let's change name to, okay, on push. Let's save it. Go to actions. So we don't need to upload files to production. We don't need to run our application on production. So we need to deploy our files to Sandbox. So there is an action for upload to Sandbox. Here is our Sandbox on the list. Our path is, I think I have used this name. Okay, this is correct. And the source path is built. So we will deploy only our artifacts to the server, add this action. Then we have to connect to our sandbox and run commands. So the last steps will deploy also our scripts to run our application. So we will change permissions for this script and run it. Okay, the same sandbox, another directory. Okay, and that's it. Add it. I will delete productions deployment. Okay. Okay, so I can run it right now. I will run it. So I will use font size, run it. Once again, we have to download our dependencies to the new file system of the pipeline. As you can see, every pipeline has file system. So the file system contains a repository file score and your dependencies. And after we build your application, there will be also build folder with your artifacts. So let's jump to our execution. Okay, one moment. We are running some tests against it. We can turn these steps off because we are running those tests in another pipeline, and we will speed up this pipeline.
Yeah.
But okay, upload, okay. And right now, I hope it worked. Okay, our new version of application is ready to be tested on our staging server. And let's add another step to our testing pipeline. So we'll change the name and run. Okay. And add another action to our pipeline at the end of this pipeline. So let's add visual test.
Okay, yeah.
And now I'm able to set up the URL to our staging application, and I will compare it to our production server.
Oh.
Okay, production, here it is.
Well, that
okay.
is cool.
Add this step, and what I can change. Okay, I will fix right now our font. So let's go to our styles, font size, edit it. I will make it 5. I will create a new branch. Automate it. Right now, I can see 2 pipelines are triggered. So one pipeline will run our unit tests, and the second pipeline will deploy our application to the staging server and run visual tests. Okay. I think we are ready to change our protection rules. So let's edit it. I can see there is our pipeline. So I will check it, save changes, and go to our pull request, create a new pull request. Okay. Under pull requests. So create a new pull request. And I want to, this is the main repository, not our fork. Okay. compare and pull request. Okay, create pull request. Okay. Okay, where are my? I'm still in incorrect incorrect repository one again. Compare and okay, I have to change this base branch to my main branch. So this is this. So I will merge fix font to the main branch in my repository, create a pull request. Oh, I can see there are two checks that are waiting, and I can see the visual test is required, and this is still pending. So let's check this execution. Okay, I can see everything is good shape. We have new version on our staging server, but the last steps is waiting for approval. So let's click it, and we can see our change. So these steps made a screenshot from the production server, the staging server, compared it, and we can see what changes we made. Right now, we are sure those changes are in good shape, so yes, approve it. Once we approve it, we can see our, once again, GitHub. Let's change our organization. I can see our repository here. This is our pull request. I can see all checks passed, and I'm able to merge it. So confirm merge, and right now I can see our production pipeline is triggered, and our changes are going to be deployed live.
Wow.
So as you could see right now, as you can see right now, we have two pipelines for tests. We run unit tests, we run visual tests. We are only able to make changes in branches other than protected branch, main branch, and those changes are tested before we are able to merge it to the production branch. And after we tested it, we are able to merge it and deploy to the production. So it took me 1 hour, I think less, to configure some pipelines and protect our repository from errors.
Yeah.
And we are able to deliver our application in an automated way. So I think we have 2 minutes to end this webinar. So what can we say at the end? Do you have any question, Tobias?
No, I want to say thank you, and you sold me especially with that visual test. This is really awesome, because some of the things you can't really test in code, and everybody knows that. And usually, depending on what type of project you're working on, but this can really be the hurtful changes that you're making, or the mistakes.
Yeah, and the visual tests didn't need to code those tests.
Yeah.
Just deploy to one server, to another server, compare it, and you can see result and just approve it.
Yeah, I love that.
So at the end, we have used React static website as the example, but it can support any tech stack from static website, WordPress, PHP, projects that do Docker or Kubernetes, AWS-based project, and so on. We have also support for mobile delivery. We have noticed that some of you from your community are iOS developers. So right now we have iOS support in private beta. You are most welcome to join it and give us feedback. We hope we will be able to deliver the same value I presented you during this webinar. So we are open to chat about any continuous integration, continuous delivery workflows problems. Just hit us on intercom on our website, and we will set up a live meeting and we can chat in live.
Wonderful offer.
At the end, you have offered a discount for our community. We have the same discount for your community. So anybody that won't test our product, our Buddy product, can register for 30 days trial. There are free plans, also free new model. But if you want to go with some paid plans, just hit our support and give us the coupon you can see on the on our webinar, Git Tower 25, I think it is, and you will get 25% discount forever. So this is our gift to your community, and I hope we will be able to meet another time and talk about another Git usage from Git Tower perspective, for continuous integration, continuous delivery perspective, and deliver our community a value.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I know who to call if my pipeline breaks. That's you.
I'm waiting.
Raphael.
I'm waiting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Goodbye.